Welcome back everyone, I'm Plays Games, and this is EVE Online, and today we're carrying on with our long-running series taking out faction and pirate cruisers for running Highsec combat anomalies and hopefully some escalated DED sites as well. And the one we're going to be doing today is the Vigilant. This is the Vigilant. It is of course based on the Thorax. It's the Serpentis version of the Thorax, and here are its skill bonuses. Per level of Gallente Cruiser skill, you will get 10% bonus to medium hybrid turret fall off, so that's range. Again, at level 5, you will get 50% bonus to your range. Lovely. And for each level of the Minmatar Cruiser skill, because this is a pirate ship and it does require two different races of skills, you get 10% bonus to Stasis Webifier Effectiveness. That's how much your webs will slow things down by. And again, at level 5, that will be 50% bonus. And the roll bonus, which is static, you get a chunky great big 75% bonus to your medium hybrid turret damage. So this is damage, range, and damage application, because that's really what Stasis Webifiers is. So this is the Holy Trinity. Fitting wise, it has 5 high power slots, 5 of which can be turrets. A little bit annoying for us because, as you know, we are going to be fitting a probe launcher on this thing so we can scan sites, so that's going to reduce us down to only 4 turrets. But they are being multiplied by 1.75, so it's going to be fine. 4 mid-power slots, 6 low slots, 3 rig slots, and as a pirate ship, this only has 350 rig calibration instead of 400 like the faction ships get. So let's sit down and build this fit. I'm going to go long range because we're going to be doing this in Caldari space, and that means the Guristas 4 out of 10 DED, and we know that works better at long range. So let's get some railguns on this thing, some medium railguns. Because we're only going to be fitting 4 of them instead of 5, I think we can get away with Tech 2 250mm. That looks pretty good. And we'll also go to the scanning equipment section and grab ourselves a Sisters core probe launcher, and we'll get some charges on both these things. Sisters core probes in there. We'll get another 8 in cargo, so we've got enough to reload. And the weapon will just get some antimatter charge M. And when we mouse over the guns, we see that the fall off range is 36 and the optimal is 16. That's probably going to be good enough. DPS is only 264, but we're going to increase that. We're going to do that right now. We'll go straight to the low slots and get at least 3 magnetic field stabilizers. Let's just click this icon at the top to collapse all the groups because everything was open and it was difficult to find anything. So we'll get 3 of those on there. Damage goes up to 436. That's kind of what we've been doing this whole series. That's kind of when all the damage for all the ships, apart from a couple of them, the outliers like the Stratios and probably the Gila, were like 600-700. Everything else has been high 300s, low 400s, so that's probably enough damage. We're going to increase the damage by adding some drones. This does have 50 megabit a second drone bandwidth and a 50 cubic meter drone bay, so in theory we could use and fly 5 medium drones, but of course I'm just going to put light drones on because we are in Highsec. That means most of the sites we're going to be facing are going to be little frigates and stuff, so we want Hornets for that. We'll get 5 of them in there. Top damage goes up to 521, thank you Hornets. Propulsion wise, I don't think we need to be particularly fast, so let's do a 10 meganewton Tech 2 afterburner. 818 meters a second, that's more than fast enough. Then we'll get a sensor booster 2 and a tracking computer 2. It's what I always do with my exploration fits, for Highsec at least, because we're a medium-sized cruiser trying to target little frigates, so you just get a sensor booster with a scan resolution script, because I'd rather spend most of my time shooting at things than achieving target lock on them. And to aid in shooting things, tracking speed script in the tracking computer, so we can target nice and fast. We're nice and accurate. We should be killing frigates, no trouble at all. And the final mid-power slot is of course going to be a large compact cap battery. Tank wise, probably just going to do a reactive armor hardener and medium armor repairer. Last slot, don't know about the last low power slot. We'll come back to that. Rigs wise, what do we want? What do we need? Let's turn the afterburner off. We need more cap, that's for damn sure. So we'll get a cap control or semiconductor memory cell, see which one looks best. Yeah, they both make us stable, so we'll go for a cap control circuit 1. Armor repair rate 40.9. We could do a nano pump, but because we're going to be fighting at range, I don't think we need a nano pump. To increase the tank, we could just increase the kinetic resistance, because pretty much all of the damage we're going to be taking from every site we meet in this Guristas haunted part of Caldari space are going to be firing nothing but kinetic at us, so we'll do an armor rig of a kinetic... Where's that? Here we go. Get one of these on. Now, one thing I may want to do is actually increase the damage on this ship, because if you saw the Caracal Navy issue and a couple of other videos, we did try to snipe the loot dropping building at the end of the 4 of 10 and it didn't really work. We didn't quite have enough damage. So I think I'll try and mitigate that this time by putting a damage rig on this thing. So that will be a hybrid weapon rig, medium. Collision accelerator is the one I want. Burst aerator will probably give us, 0.4 more DPS. But burst aerator speeds up the rate of fire, and I don't really want that because hybrid weapons use capacitor, and I don't really want them firing faster to increase the DPS because that chews up more capacitor. I'd rather just have the collision accelerator, which improves each shot. So we go from 521 to 533. Is it a huge increase? No. It'll do. Still stable with the afterburner off because we don't need the afterburner to be on all that much. We barely got any power grid left. Got enough CPU, so we can do something that uses CPU in the final low power slot. I mean, if we want to be clever, we could do a cap power relay just so it's stable with absolutely everything running. Do we need the rig then? No. Okay. That rig fitting needs 100 calibrations, so we've got 100 more calibration to play with. But what would I do with that rig? I can't get another collision because that's 200. I was thinking about possibly getting a hybrid weapon metastatus adjuster, which is tracking speed. That's only 100, but that's only 15% tracking speed. And I believe that will break the power on the ship. Yeah, because rigs have a drawback. This ship modification is designed to increase the tracking speed of a ship's hybrid turrets at the expense of increased power grid need for hybrid weapons. So for that reason, we're not going to do the cap power relay. I'm going to put the capacitor control circuit back on. And I'm going to do a tracking enhancer in that final low slot instead. Tracking enhancer 2. Because that gives us 9.5% tracking and optimal range and fall off, and it doesn't increase the power grid need of the guns. So the range has actually gone up to 42 now, which still isn't quite enough for the telescope at the end of the Guristas 4 of 10. So we'll take a look at some different ammunition types, see which one is a good mix of range, damage and cap use. Hopefully gets the fall off somewhere around 50. Thorium is quite a nice one. I do like thorium quite a bit. There we go. 31 to 55. Usually when you warp into that site, the telescope's at around 45, so that's right on the middle of 31 and 55. So I'll get some thorium on board. A couple of thousand of thorium. And it looks like with thorium, we're actually cap stable with the afterburner on as well. But when we're farming sites, I think we'll stick with antimatter, because the damage caused is 150 thermal and 210 kinetic. Add those together, it's 360 damage per gun. That should be enough to one-shot a frigate in any site we meet. And we've got tracking, and we've got tracking. You will notice I have not put a web on this thing, because the bonus is only to the web strength, not the web range. And that means I would have to fight at 10 kilometers, and that means the railguns would miss all the time, and they'd have to go to blasters, which are literally point blank. And I don't want to have to use blasters on all these sites, because it means travelling to each individual NPC, attacking them one at a time, using the web on them one at a time, and I'd rather just fight at long range with a tracking computer and a tracking enhancer. Plutonium's the next step down from antimatter in terms of damage, but it's the next step up in terms of range. Yeah, fall off range 47, not quite good enough. Uranium might be a possibility. Optimal range 27, fall off 51. But I think we're going to stick with thorium, because I have a plan in my mind. If you watch the Caracal Navy issue, I know I'll keep going back to that because that was the last one I recorded and it's freshest in my memory. We did try to snipe the loot dropping telescope at the end of the site. We didn't have enough DPS to do it, and we ended up having to move. But what if I just orbited it at like 45 and ran around with the afterburner on? Maybe then we'd have enough speed and tank and cap life to just orbit it and shoot it and then swoop in and grab the cargo without actually having to do a full clear. Because we did take like 10 minutes to clear the 4 out of 10. That's a little slow. So I think we're going to go like this for this fit. This is how it's going to be. It's going to be antimatter for general use, and then thorium literally just for trying to snipe the tower. So I put 6,000 antimatter in cargo. This is so I can use the buy all button and it will buy everything you see on the fit, which is nice. Is there anything else we'd want to change or upgrade? Not really. Power grid's got nothing left. The CPU's got some left, but we can't really upgrade that to a Tech 2 because that'll need a lot more power. Tech 2 afterburner's fine. That's good. That looks good. There's not enough calibration to make any of the rigs Tech 2. I shall go and purchase this, then we'll take a look at what the ship looks like, maybe look for some cool skins if I have any, and then we'll go out and try and get a 4 of 10 DED, so here we go. And here we are in our brand new Vigilant. Looks pretty cool, almost symmetrical apart from this sticky down bit here. Colour scheme, fairly cool, pretty tactical. Do we have any skins? That is the pressing issue. We do have some skins. Glacial Drift doesn't look terrible. Spirit, versus Blue Force, versus Red Force. Let's go for some versus Blue Force. These are skins based on the long gone and sadly lamented RVB, Red versus Blue. It was an alliance which consisted of two corporations. One of them was red, one of them was blue, and these corporations were in a permanent war with each other. It was essentially a gigantic PvP amongst yourselves training corp, and they had a lot of fun. But eventually the guy running it got bored of running it and did something else, and no one else was interested in keeping it going, and sadly it's long gone. All we have now is the skins and the memories. There you go, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Right, I shall go and pick a constellation, and I'll meet you there, and fingers crossed I don't have to spend 3 days looking for an escalation like I did last time. Cross your fingers, and here we go. Okay, you join me in space. We're at the first constellation, and straight off the bat we've got a hideaway and a refuge and some ice belts which we don't need, so we'll just get rid of those. I've rearranged everything to how I want it. I put the drones in a folder. I've changed my keep it range to 30,000 meters, which is 30 kilometers, which is exactly between 18 and 42. 18 plus 42 being 60. Might as well turn mostly everything on. Oh, I should have warped in at 25 because we're a long range ship. My bad. 34 people in local. I'm assuming most of them will be either farming ice or killing other people in the ice belts. Well, this is the long range version of the hideaway with the forward observation post. And we are indeed one-shotting these frigates, which is lovely. Give them the broadside. When we hit, we're absolutely wrecking them. These guys only have 55 hit points. As you know, each of our turrets hits for 260. When they do hit, there's a 225 and a 300. Hey, look at us. We got a Dread Guristas commander on the first sight of the day. What a lovely way to start. We didn't get an escalation when we killed him. Well, let's slowly approach at 818 meters a second and pick up his wreck and see what we've won. Whilst I'm doing that, I'll reload my guns. Being hybrid weapons, they reload in only 5 seconds, which is lovely. And then I'll remember to warp to this refuge, not by clicking the warp tab, but by right-clicking and picking warp to within 20 kilometers, so we can immediately be at our long range. Right, we've got some Guristas Scourge light missiles. 1,000 of these is worth 500,000 ISK, so we'll take that. We'll leave everything else. Right-click, warp to 20 kilometers.
Warp drive active.
Right, let's hope that's not the only commander we're going to find today. Nice little start there. When you remember to warp in at range, it makes life so much easier. Damn it, missed that one. Like, when we do hit, we're absolutely wrecking them. Don't you jam me, you little swine. Jamming is a taunt if it successfully lands, and that means the only thing you can target is the thing which has you jammed. Against these little frigates, it's no big issue because you just target lock them and blow them up to stop them jamming you. If it's a battleship that's jamming you, that can be a bit of a problem. Especially if there are multiple jamming battleships in the same location. Because battleship number 1 will jam you, and then you start shooting at battleship number 1, and then battleship number 1 stops jamming you, and battleship number 2 jams you. And then you've got to start shooting at battleship number 2. And then battleship number 3 will jam you, and then you have to start shooting at battleship number 3. And whilst you're doing that, battleships 1 and 2 are repairing themselves, and you can get into this kind of death spiral where everything's jamming you in order, and you never get enough time to actually destroy them. That can be a little tricky. It's very rare that that happens, but it does happen. Hey look, another hideaway's appeared on the probe scanner. That's lovely. Low shield warning, who cares about that? And there's someone in a Stormbringer. Okay, he's going to clear this site in about 3 seconds. He's got the gimmick chain lightning gun.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it looks like he's going off to do that hideaway. I'm just going to move to the next system. There was no commander there and there was no escalation, so I'm just going to move. I'll let him do that hideaway. I'm just going to ignore it and pretend we never found it. It will take him about 3 seconds to clear these sites because his chain lightning gun hits up to 10 targets. And all of them for maximum DPS. The only problem with the chain lightning gun is that the ammunition is hideously expensive. And the top DPS is not very good. It's very good at killing lots of small ships very quickly. But it's not very good at shooting large ships because the DPS is awful. And against a single target, you only get 1 hit. Right, another refuge. Let's go in at 20k.
Warp drive active.
Some things to scan here as well. Looks like they're both close to this planet, so I'm going to go down to 4 AU because all sites will spawn within 4 AU of a planet. So if you see outliers like this, where it's the only planet anywhere near them, just drop your probes on the planet at 4 AU, and if you do it right, both of these big balls will turn into little red dots or even orange pings. One of them became an orange ping, it's a wormhole, immediately ignore that. And now we can just go straight to 2 AU. We've saved ourselves a little bit of time, a couple of scan cycles. Every little helps. That's probably going to be a data site for the event, which is running at the time. At the time of recording, this is during the Crimson Harvest event. So there's going to be lots of data sites from the event. It's a relic site. Okay, fair enough. And I'm not doing home front operations, so we'll just get rid of those. This is the problem of being in Caldari space. There's 31 people in local, so yeah. It's busy, it's crowded, there's a lot of competition as we saw with the Stormbringer. But we seem to be clearing sites in a decent time.
Warp drive active.
So I'll keep doing this. I'll go through this entire constellation. If we get a commander or an escalation, I'll bring you back and explain what happened. Wish me luck. Well, this is interesting. I have found a Guristas 4 out of 10 scout outpost as a scan site in the
Warp
wild.
drive active.
So let's go and have a go at it. Well, this is working out rather well. There are 10 people in local, but directional scan says there's no one in the site. Doesn't mean there's no one there, it just means that D-scan can't see them. We are in a Triglavian minor victory system, just means that remote armour and remote shield boosts are increased and our maximum lock targets has been cut in half. Not a huge issue, it doesn't take us long to target lock things.
Warp drive active.
2 rooms in this site. First room you have to do a full clear. There is a boss in the first room. He does drop an Overseer's Personnel effect. I believe it's a 7th tier. That is the Guristas Scout Officer. His rec will be Tech 2, so it will drop nice things. And if you salvage him, you can get some nice Tech 2 salvage from him as well. I'm going to put the drones out. They can go and play. We do have 5 of them. They can go and play with the frigates. The aggression in this first room can be a little bit weird. Like, there tends to be, like, most of the front group aggress at the same time, then all these frigates at the back aggress, and sometimes the ones in the middle do, and sometimes they don't. It can be a little bit strange. So I'm going to concentrate on taking out the destroyers. Looks like my drones are under fire, so I'm going to bring them back. And one of them is very under fire. Wow, as soon as the shield went down, these little drones just melt. It looks like everything's now aggressing, so that's good. Oh, poor little drone's taking a little tick of structure damage. 96% structure. Poor little guy getting all beat up. Now just get rid of the last cruiser, other than the boss cruiser. The boss cruiser is still on approach. He does fire blasters, so he's going to want to get nice and close. I do have to remember this is a public site, so we may get interrupted. And the drones have split their fire because of course they have, because drone focus fire doesn't work and it's never worked. Right, drones, just attack that frigate. Right, now the officer's close enough, now I'll start shooting at him. We should be able to track him even though he's at this range. He's a big slow cruiser. Maybe not, he's a little too close. You can tell he's firing blasters because they're yellow, and by the fact that he didn't open fire until he got close enough to me. Railguns fire blue, blasters fire yellow.
Charges.
Dead. Right, let's grab his wreck. Yeah, 7th tier and the random Tech 1 gun. Terrible. Let's approach the gate. And hope that we can pull range on something. Hey look everyone, the drones have split the fire because drone focus fire doesn't work. You mouse over this settings thing and you mouse over focus fire. Should drones focus their efforts on a single enemy? You tick that to say yes please. All drones shoot at a single enemy. Does it work? No. Has it ever worked? No. Are the developers ever going to fix it? Doesn't look like it. Going fast and pulling range looks like it's done the job. I'm just going to bring the drones back because the guns are going to kill these 2 guys. It's good. And we're going to go straight through into the last room. I'm going to reload to thorium, because it only takes 5 seconds to reload.
Warp drive active.
And we're going to try orbiting the telescope at like 45, I think. Or just pretty much where it is. Yeah, we're at about 47, so just right click, orbit, 30k, why not? We know we're stable with thorium, so we're just thorium the rest of this. Everything will regress because I'm shooting at the correctly identified overseer structure. When you right click, it says remove dead space overseer structure. So that's how you know it's the boss. Right, let's put the drones out. They can go and play with the frigates. Well, the telescope's going down. Our damage is kind of plateaued. Okay, the reactive armor hardener has had long enough of us taking armor damage to max out. And that means we have 82% kinetic damage resistance. Let's have a look at this frigate. This frigate does 100% kinetic damage. This wrecker does 100%. The Abscriber cruiser does 57% and a little bit of thermal. The fake officer does 75% kinetic. So yeah, most of what we're being shot at with, there you go, these Infernos are doing 100% kinetic. So most of the enemies in this site are actually hitting us with nothing but kinetic, and we have an 82% resistance to that. I'm going to approach the bunker instead of the telescope, because when the telescope explodes in a couple of seconds time, we won't be able to approach it anymore. I think we'll just let the drones do their thing. I'll just reload to antimatter. And we'll swoop in and see what we've got. Well, that worked out just fine. The two reasons for using thorium: A, for the range, and B, let us be cap stable. And let us complete the site. Bring the drones back, because we're about to grab the loot. We're just going to scoop and run. Hey, we got nothing but the Overseer's personal effect, everybody! Oh, man.
Drive active.
This site can drop between 0 and 6 dead space and faction modules, and one of them is the Pitham C-type multispectrum shield hardener, and that's worth about 400 to 500 million. But in every single episode we have found 4 out of 10s, we've run them, and we've basically got nothing. We've been absolutely stiffed. Oh dear, what a shame. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. And if I get any more commanders, or another 4 of 10, or a 3 of 10, and obviously I'll show you. Well, I found a den, so let's go and do a den. Oh, and a Guristas Vigil. They'll be running that after the den, that's for damn sure, unless someone else runs it. There are 7 other people in local. There's 2 different variants of the den. One of them has light missiles and will spawn frigates and destroyers, and the other one is the one we've got, which is heavy missiles, and that will spawn destroyers and cruisers. No matter which flavour of it you have, if there is a commander, the commander will always be a cruiser, even if you've got the frigate and destroyer version of the site. So let's see if we get a commander this time. There is an escalation from a den. It's a 5 out of 10 site. Pretty rare, very rare to get the 510 spawned in Highsec. I say that, I've had quite a few of them on the channel, so they're not all that rare, to be honest. In this site, sometimes when you kill the heavy missile battery, it will spawn more missile batteries. Other times, if you kill the missile batteries, it will spawn ships. So this is definitely a site where you cannot just ignore the missile batteries, especially not the heavy missiles, because they actually hurt quite a lot. So you want to kill those anyway. So far, the Vigilant has been performing absolutely superb. If you remember to warp in at the right range, you just plink away. And we're only just taking armour damage. Most of the hideaways and refuges don't even get through the shield, unless there's like 5 or 6 of them in the same system. Oh, balls. I thought I was shooting 2 guns at each destroyer, and I was shooting 2 guns at each cruiser, because I'm a bit of an idiot and I got the wrong name, but we still killed everything, so that's good. Drones are slowly chewing through the heavy missile batteries. Heavy missile batteries have got quite a lot of health, actually. There you go. Bit of a delay on that new wave warping in, but they figured it, they managed to appear in the end. There's no more gun turrets, jolly good show drones, and the drones are attacking a destroyer. Well done, that's the correct thing for you to be attacking. Well done, chaps. Again, it's just pretty chill. Hey look everyone, the drones have split the fire. All that setting automates is the pressing of the F key. That is the hotkey which says, all drones please attack the highlighted target. And for whatever reason the developers seem unwilling or unable to code that correctly. I don't know why. But anyway, that's what Dens look like. Let's go and do this Vigil. That was a weird noise. Apparently an alarm has sounded as soon as we enter the area. More ships could be incoming. Okay, it says something about a pass key to the next room. This is 3 rooms. It's the hardest of the unrated combat sites, as we see from them battle cruisers everywhere. I'm sure we'll be okay. Let's just wipe out these battle cruisers, because they have a decent amount of damage, but then so do we, and they're big slow targets, so we should have no trouble taking care of them. Having said that, I really should just move, even without the afterburner on, just to get some kind of speed. Okay, I'm putting the afterburner on actually. This is a little bit ouchy. Just get the drones to help me kill the first battle cruiser, and then they can go off and do their own thing. The good thing about acceleration gates is that their activation range is absolutely huge. See, we've been on the go for quite some time and we're still at 0, apparently. Because the activation distance on gates is massive. So we can just go directly up and directly down and directly up and directly down and still be on 0 on the gate, which is quite nice. These guys are very far away. I hope they're on approach. I hope they're not just going to stay at that kind of range. Yeah, okay, they're on approach, that's good. Yes, drones, you can help me kill this destroyer, thank you. And then get on that frigate. Then I'll just go back down. And there's a battleship, wow. As I said, the Vigil is the hardest of the unrated sites. The unrated sites you find in Highsec is the hideout, which only lets in frigates. And then there's a lookout, which lets in... I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can take battle cruisers in there. You can certainly get cruisers and lookouts, because I've done them lots of times in the channel. And then there's a watch, and then there's a Vigil. I think the battleship's trying to shoot him with drones. Yes, he is, that's fine. Battleship weapon versus small fast drones. Not going to be a problem.
A module has run out of charges. A module has run out of charges.
Bad time to reload.
A module has run out of charges.
Luckily it only takes 5 seconds. These unrated sites are only found via scanning. In this first room you have to kill everything to unlock the gate, including the battleship, but that's not a huge issue. I don't believe it's an officer. Got a decent amount of resistances on him though. But he has aggressed my drones, and I'm perfectly okay with that, you know. Now he's aggressed me. I shouldn't have said anything. It was fine when he was shooting at my drones. I'm going to turn my afterburner off. We'll just slow bolt this guy down. And just kind of double click somewhere near him. We're still going to hit him fine because, you know, medium turrets versus big slow battleship. He didn't drop anything. And there's another silly sign, which means the gate's open. So drones come back, we get reloaded. And onto room 2.
Warp drive active.
The Guristas Vigil is weird because room 2 is really the final room of the site. Room 3 is empty. All that does is give you an additional chance for an escalation. Right, stasis towers. That has to die absolutely first. Absolutely, the first things you must get rid of are the stasis towers. Everything else is aggressed. This is good. That means the drones can go out straight away. I have to destroy stasis towers. The drones are out. They've done their thing. What is my fall off range? 42. Yeah, good. Should really turn the armor repairer back on. That might help. There are timed reinforcements in this room. That's why I'm kind of killing stuff as quick as I can. In fact, I'm just going to keep it at range. Afterburner on. The afterburner, with everything running, the cap lasts 10 minutes 50, so it's not a huge issue having it on all the time. Just manually tell the drones to all shoot at the same target. The developers of Eve did do an experiment once when they turned off drone automatic targeting. That was actually quite a good thing, because then all you had to do was just press F once in a while and tell your drones to attack things. That was an effort to stop everyone botting using drone ships, because drones just automatically shoot things, so you would spit drones out, code your bot to just orbit really fast at like 20-30k, and then it was just too easy to bot. So that was an attempt to get rid of the botting, but unfortunately it had unforeseen circumstances due to spaghetti code, and it was interfering with drone assistance. They said they were going to fix the drone assistance bug and then re-ban it, but they never did. I think they came under pressure because too many people were losing too much RMT from the bots being broken. Whether or not that's true, we'll never know. Right, just 2 more ships to go before the reinforcement wave pops in. I believe they're timed in this site. We'll soon find out when we kill this guy. Bring the drones back in case they get aggroed by the new wave. Turn the afterburner off. Yep, they appear to be timed. So I'm just going to hang out and wait for the next wave. Because you need to wait for the final wave, because that actually has the Dread Guristas boss, who can drop all kinds of good stuff. I hate timed waves. I hate them. Oh, green message in local. More enemy ships have arrived. There they are, down there. Let's get them. Afterburner back on. Dire Pethy Saboteurs. We don't like Dire. They're elite. As we see, they've got higher resistances, and they will try and kill my drones, and they will jam me as well. Obviously, that's the one that jammed me, so we're going to have to try and kill it with our little pop guns. Good. And the other one. See, jamming's a minor annoyance. It only becomes a problem when battleships are jamming you. And drones go and kill the cruisers. No, destroyers. Yeah, Vigilant is just performing like an absolute beast. It's just beasting everything we throw at it. 4 of 10, not a problem. Vigil, not a problem. And I believe the next wave is the final wave, and they're going to appear relatively quickly. Just turn the afterburner off to maintain the cap. Don't waste your time blowing up all this nonsense, because nothing here drops anything. And another message in local. We didn't have to wait too long. There's the boss, Dread Guristas Silencer. Nothing special, no massive resistances. Just get the drones and myself on him. The drones, I said. Just going to double click somewhere near this group, because we're going to have to go and pick up his wreck anyway. Here we go, one down, and we do have the escalation, which is called Kidnapped. It's not an escalation, it's an expedition. Unrated sites give you these expeditions. You get the bookmark to one site, and when you get to that one site, there's a chance for a commander to be there, and there's a chance for it to give you another site. There are 4 sites in total if you get them all, and the final site will have an enhanced loot reward. Sometimes they just end after the first site, and sometimes the first site doesn't even have a commander, and it's a massive waste of time. Expeditions can be a bit of a pain in the balls. But if you can get to all 4 sites and they all spawn on Highsec, then happy days. What is in this commander wreck? Some Guristas Scourge missiles worth 710,000. Medium smart bomb worth 728,000. Other than that, nothing. Ah well. There's no point taking this acceleration gate, but I'll take it anyway. I'll just show you what's in there. Because if you kill the boss and he doesn't give you the escalation, going through this gate can then give you the expedition. So we'll just go through the gate and show you what's there.
Warp drive active.
Here we go into the third and final room of the Guristas Vigil. As you'll see, the site has disappeared from the scan because there's nothing there. There's literally nothing in the third room. This, as I said, just gives you another chance for the escalation, because you warp here and it will say you've picked up the signal.
Warp drive active.
So I'll just finish this constellation, see if we find any more sites, and then we'll do the Kidnapped expedition. This is going to be fun. Alright, I've come to the end of the constellation. I didn't find anything else. So let's go and do this Kidnapped expedition. The first site is only 7 jumps away. It's in Highsec, so that's good. We can get to there. Let's see if there's a commander, and if we get the second site, I'll meet you in 7 jumps. Alright, we've made it to the first expedition system, active. So let's see what lies in store. Be prepared for anything. The difficulty of the expeditions is pretty similar to the site which you got them from, which is not the same with DED sites. Okay, nothing here. I'm just going to double click straight up, turn my afterburner on, just in case everything spawns around me. I'm not sure if these are harvestable clouds or just scenery. Whatever it is, I can't see anything. There's some bad guys. Let's pull range on them. There's a lot more bad guys, including a couple of dire pithy saboteurs, which I don't like the look of, because they will warp, jam and web and jam, none of which are things I enjoy. I don't really want to put the drones out, because the dire pithies, god, there's 4 of them. The dire pithies will change their aggression to the drones, and they will basically one-shot your drones. They will absolutely annihilate drones. So let's just use our speed and our guns and our tracking and annihilate all these horrible warp jam, web jamming, drone killing frigates, and then we'll start working on everything else. We have the time, the shields are still up, everything's fine. More things have jumped in, maybe everything's not fine. It'll be okay. Ah, goddamn jamming frigate. Right. Drones go out. Battlecruiser go dead. And we'll get the drones on the frigates. This little group down here may try to aggress the drones instead of me, but that's okay. I'd rather they were not shooting at me. There's the boss, the dread Guristas subscriber, who is a boss, so he will drop Tech 2 salvage if you wish to salvage his wreck, and he of course can drop all kinds of faction and dead space loot and blueprints and all that jazz. Okay, this lot are moving and they're shooting at the drones, but the drones are buzzing around nice and fast, so they should be okay. We'll just bring them back anyway. I'll take out this destroyer. Pop, there he goes. I'll keep working on the battle cruisers. Yeah, this is pretty much the same difficulty as the Vigil was. So if you get an expedition from a hideout, then you know that it's going to be able to be run by frigates, because expeditions tend to be the same difficulty as the site that spawned them. Right, let's go and wake this lot up. I'm just going to reload my gun because it only takes 5 seconds because hybrids. I'm just going to turn my afterburner off to preserve a little bit of cap. Because now we're actually in range of these guys, we're not going to have to move fast to keep ourselves at range. Good, they've all woken up. In fact, the frigates haven't, but we'll go and wake them up with the drones. Just go and kill them all. I mean, this ship has just worked absolutely fine. It's just absolutely curb stomped everything we've thrown at it. 4 of 10s, vigils, expeditions, just without even breaking sweat. The only thing that's in danger is one of our drones. Everything else is fine. Because we put the kinetic rig on it, having 82% kinetic resistance is amazing. This guy's firing 75% kinetic, this guy's firing 69, nice. And the boss is 57, so almost everything is firing mostly kinetic at us. And that's fine. That is not a problem. Oh, more destroyers down there. Hey, the boss is dead. And that's triggered the second site. Or has it? In any case, you have no idea where to rescue these people. Okay, expedition failed at the first attempt. Wah, no 4-stage expedition for us. But we do at least get 1 boss's worth of loot. And let's see what we've won, shall we? And our survey says... more garbage. There's some more missiles. There's some Guristas tungsten. There's a restrained shield boost amplifier worth $500,000. Apparently there's compact ballistic control systems worth $4 million. Nothing good faction-wise, but you know what, that's just fine. Untrack that because it's finished. And I think we'll finish this video. Let's go back to Jita and we'll do a quick debrief. Right, we made it back to Jita safe and sound. We found another bug in the game. As you see, the rotation axis of this ship is centered way back at the back end of the ship in station. In space, it's roughly here in the middle of the ship where it should be, but in station, it rotates around the back of the ship for some stupid reason, and it means that half of it's off screen when you zoom in. So that's another thing that the developers have to fix. What they don't have to fix is the performance of the Vigilant. This thing worked like an absolute Trojan. It warped in at 20 on refugees, murdered everything. Warped in at 0 on hideaways, because hideaways drop you between 15 and 30. Murdered everything. It did a 4 of 10. It did a vigil. it did the first part of Kidnapped Expedition, which failed after the first attempt, but oh well, no big trouble. Loot-wise, we barely got anything. In total, 9.5 million-ish worth of loot, but that was simply because we killed no less than 4 commanders. Yeah, we got the frigate in the first site, which dropped us the little Guristas light, and then we got the 2 commanders in the Vigil and the Expedition, which dropped nothing, and then we got nothing but the 8th tier from the commander loot dropping telescope in the 4 out of 10. So we were very unlucky not to get any faction or Dead Space modules at all. But that's not down to the performance of the ship. That's down to RN Jesus and the Loot Fairy being very upset with me today for some reason. I don't know why. But come back next time and see if we actually manage to get some loot from whatever ship we're going to be flying next. And until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again soon.